I am a data with Analytics. I am currently the data engineering lead and senior data associate at Analytics. I hope by this masterclass, I am able to paint a picture on how the case study and internship lifestyle is at Analytics and give you some ideas of how it would feel like being a part of the rich culture that we try to get you acquainted with in Analytics. So once again, my name is Dr. Ibrahim Ubele Nelson, and I'll be working with you guys through this journey. So as we progress, let me proceed to share my screen. Okay. So can everybody see my screen? Okay. Okay. So if you can see my screen, why don't you say hi, hi, hi. Give a hi on the WhatsApp and the chat, and we could get started. So I will know that everyone is seeing my screen and we are ready to go. So just give a hi in the chat. Okay, let's see. I'm seeing a hi, hi. Awesome, awesome. So Aimwa, hi. Victor, hi. Aziz, hi. Okay, so we are good to go on that front. Everyone is seeing my screen. That is good. That is good. Okay. Okay. So this is our slide for presentation. Okay. So topic is a case study walkthrough and project walkthrough of internship, and we are going to show you the lifestyle, how the projects and the case studies are phrased at Analytics, so that you get an idea about the day-to-day of how you would learn in a practical scenario. But more importantly, after this program, our program is 3 months or 12 weeks of intense training, um, which is beginner friendly and intermediate friendly depending on your level. And afterwards, you get introduced into the internship phase, whereby you get to work as an intern with real life case problems, and you get to solve real life case problems. And the beauty about it is that you also get to work in an inclusive space with other data professionals. So for example, if you're in the data engineering cohort, you get to work with the data scientists, and in many cases also with the data analyst. So I would like for you to work with me through this journey. Now, we're all here, and what brought us, all of us here, is the Analytics. So a brief about Analytics. So Analytics is, we are the leading edutech company focused on providing specialized training in technology service and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. We have, and we boast 4 years of experience training people that are looking towards transitioning into tech. Now, the beauty about of our approach, tested and show, is the fact that we have the testimonials, we have the proofs, we have the reviews to show you guys how we have been able to achieve this thing of transitioning people from their day-to-day activities into tech. Now, we're committed to making technology sector more accessible through premium experimental training in the areas of data analytics, business analytics, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, cybersecurity, and AI engineering. Now, to surprise you to know that our team of facilitators are not just people that are focused in the area of edutech, but have wealth of experience working in diverse sectors as tech professionals. We have people from places like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, banks, or when we look at the different banks in Nigeria, finance, fintech companies, and the likes. So they bring wealth of real world experience and are dedicated to engaging or to providing or delivering an engaging practical learning experience that will ensure that you receive maximum value for your investment in the future. Now, a brief about myself, of course. I'm sure you guys are wondering, oh, Dr. Ehi, where does the name come from? Who is he? So I'm Dr. Ehi Vaheme Ogile. That's the full name, but you can just call me Dr. Ehi for short. I have over half a decade of experience in data engineering and 8 years as experience in data marketing. And I have had the opportunities to work across different companies. As a digital marketer, I've worked at over 50 plus, 50 there, I would say 50 different companies, startups, SMEs, and the likes. Same as a digital marketer, I've worked across diverse companies. Title, you could call me a data marketer. I've worked as a data engineer, as a cloud engineer. I use different platforms of cloud, Azure, AWS, GCP. Now, many of you wonder where the doctor name comes from. I'm originally a pharmacist. I'm a trained pharmacist. So like many of you coming to this platform from different areas or fields, I myself am a trained pharmacist who fully trained, fully registered, fully licensed before I transitioned into tech as a data engineer. Now, I obtained my diploma in data engineering from Explore AI, a South African institute, and I'm a first-class trained pharmacist from the University of Benin. Now, my experience as a data engineer spans from working as a data engineer where I'm Dari with Analytics. I've worked as a data engineer with Midtown Telecom, Boost, but many not captured there, of course, because I cannot put everything here. I love, breathe, feel data engineering and data science. And this is what I talk about every day. You can check me up on my social media. They are all made available there. You see that every single moment of my life, I'm always talking about the world of data. So you could always reach out to me and let's have a friendly chat. Now that introduction is out of the way, this is what we'll be talking about today. So first things first, we'll be working in a practical case scenario, looking at a case study, for example. We'll be building together an end-to-end web scraping ETL pipeline that has the possibility of scraping data from Jumia and using these data using Python and SQL. So we'll be doing this together. Then we'll look at how to get into an in-demand tech role and the career paths that open to for you. We're using data engineering as a case study. Then we'll talk a bit more about the upcoming cohort for June 8th, success stories and accounts from people who have passed through our program. Then, of course, there's also a discount for the coming training that's happening this June 8th, and this will be passed along to you guys so that you guys can be aware. But before we begin, who is excited? If you're excited, give me a thumbs up, give me a yeah in the chat. So if you're excited, who is excited to get started? Some Aima is excited. Who else is excited? We have 16 people here, so I would presume that we're all excited to be here. So if you're excited, give me a yeah in chat. So, oh, good. Aziz gave me a thumbs up. That's awesome. Who else is excited? Are the only two people excited to be here? The rest of you guys, let me take a look. Akonji, Albert, Ayola, Bernard, Elijah, John, Lola, Rene, Tanya, Ubio, Victor. Are you guys not excited to be here? Wisdom. Okay, so I'm getting more thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm guessing we're all excited to be here. Now, we'll work on this practical case study together. And we're going to do everything together, a step-by-step process. And I'll show you the ins and outs of how it is for the day-to-day activity of a data engineer. Because I'm a data engineer, so using data engineer as a case study, as a case focus. So let us now imagine we're in the corporate sector. And the company that we're talking about today is called Joker Stores. Now, Joker Stores is a laptop vendor on Jumia e-commerce. And their aim is to analyze data on laptop sales to optimize its business strategy. However, accessing this data requires to build a Python ETL pipeline that scrapes this data from Jumia's website, cleans the data, and transforms the data into their database. Now, this case study will outline the process of creating a batch pipeline for web scraping data from Jumia's website, cleaning it, transforming it, and loading it into Joker Stores Postgres database. Now, in simple case, Joker Stores is just a vendor, just like many vendors in Jumia, and they sell laptops. Now they want to analyze these laptop sales, the different laptops available, so that they can know, maybe they want to use the information to know how they want to stock up their store, or how they will go into purchasing for new products. Now, they don't work with Jumia. They're just a vendor registered on Jumia. They don't have access to Jumia's data. So what do? They reach out to their data engineer, which happens to be us, to go to Jumia's website and get this information from the website. And that is the idea of why we're employing web scraping. Now, I know I've mentioned the thing pipeline. Many of you are wondering, Doc, this pipeline that you're talking about, what is a pipeline? Now, you can go to the website and go and start extracting the data one by one. You go there, okay, what's the first product? You type it somewhere. That's a whole very stressful process. So what do we use a pipeline to do? We use a pipeline to what? To automate the process. So what do we do with the pipeline? We write series of code that have the possibility of extracting this data. Then we put this code inside the pipeline that will automate the entire process, so that every day you can get the fresh update from Jumia website into Joker's database. So now Joker just needs to go to their database and search which product is the most frequently or the most occurring product on Jumia's website. And when they see that, they can find, oh, maybe this product is what is doing well. Let's go and stock our store with this product as well. And they make sales. So you see the idea. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, Doc, is this thing actually possible? Yes, it is. Very possible and very easy to do. And I'm going to work with you every step of the way as we do this together. Awesome. So, overview of the business progress statement. Joker needs to access and analyze data from Jumia's e-commerce platform to make informed decisions about its laptop sales strategies. However, accessing this data requires scraping it from Jumia's website, cleaning, transforming the data into suitable formats, because when we get the data is going to be scattered. It's on the website, it's going to be scattered. So we're then going to scrape this data and load the data into the company's database. Now, as a data engineer, the challenge is to design and implement an efficient ETL pipeline that also meets this entire process. Objectives. So what are the objectives? The objectives as a data engineer are laid out. You're going to develop a Python script that can scrape Jumia's websites, specifically the laptop category. Then you're going to clean and transform the script data to a suitable database model. Finally, you're going to load the clean data into Joker Stores Postgres database. And after you've done that, what do you now do? You automate the entire process, the entire ETL process, to run periodically, maybe on a daily basis, ensuring up-to-date, day-to-day updates of the database. Interesting, isn't it? So what are the benefits of working on this project? By doing this project, you've created a lasting, lifelong solution for Joker e-commerce. That means every day, even without you doing anything, they get regular updates of what is available as regards laptop on Jumia. You automate the process, which saves time, saves resources, saves manual labor. Imagine the employee and your job was to go and be getting data every day. You yourself will get tired about doing the same to your whole family. Why repeat it when you can have a machine do all of this? Regular updates. Now, regular updates ensures that the database contains the latest information, enabling timely analysis and decision making. Self-explanatory, isn't it? Then, With all of this, you get improved business insights, which leads to better inventory management, pricing strategies, marketing campaigns, and ultimately increasing sales and profitability. Interesting. Just that little task you do can cause a whole myriad of changes in the long run as a data engineer or a data expert. Now, what are the tech stacks we'll be using for this project? We'll be using Python as the major language for coding. And this is interesting to know because you guys as when you join the program, if any of you will be joining as a data engineer, you'll come to use Python, SQL, and Postgres. We'll groom you guys on these languages so that you guys will know them like the back of your palm. So you utilize libraries like Request for web scraping, Beautiful Soup for interpreting the website content, which we call the HTML content, SQL Alchemy as our package that allows us to interact with our database. You utilize SQL for writing queries on the database, and you utilize PostgreSQL for storing the clean and transform data in a relational database for easy query. Now, at this point in time, are we excited? Are we ready to see it happen? Are we? Is anyone excited, or we're just Doc is just talking? Let's just see how it goes. Okay, I bet you, even myself, I'm excited. So let's see how it goes. Now, to work on this kind of project, any of you can do it. This video will be made available for you guys on the YouTube page. So any of you can always pick up this video and do it. It's pretty easy. Now, what do you need? A good computer. At least something of minimum RAM of 4 gig. It's cool. 4 gig RAM. Then, what next? What do you need next? You need good internet. Pretty awesome, because without internet, you pretty much cannot do anything. So you need good internet to be able to access and carry out all these different code. You need a good browser, maybe Google Chrome, please, or your Mozilla. Then Python packages you'll be using because of your code will include things like requests, Beautiful Soup, Pandas, or an SQL Alchemy. And I will show you what each of these packages does when we start coding. The other softwares you can use your pgadmin. That's where you will get to show you guys this database that we talk about. Database. We'll show you what it is and how it looks like. VS Code will be the environment where we will write our code, our Python code. Draw.io is for drawing architecture. And this Draw.io was what I used to draw this architecture. We are not data engineers, but I'm sure all of you looking at this architecture can interpret what is happening based on the information we've just received. What does this mean? We extract the data from Jumia's website using a Python script. We transform the data into suitable format and load the finished data into a Postgres database that Joker Stores has. This was drawn simply using the Draw.io tool. And Anaconda is yet another IDE environment that you can choose to use to write your code. So I gave you two options. You can use VS Code, you can use Anaconda. For the purpose of this subtle class, we're going to use VS Code. Now, this is the project scope. Pretty much reiterating what we've said is going to happen. We're going to develop a very simple script that extracts data by scraping from Jumia's laptop category. We're going to extract relevant information such as laptop name, price, specification, rating, those kind of things. We're going to transform the data into a structured format that is suitable for database storage. We're going to save the clean transform data as a CSV for further processing. Afterwards, what are we now going to do? We're going to load the data to a Postgres database. So we'll design the database schema and load it. Then we'll create tables based on the schema. So basically, all the basic nitty-gritty things that we need to do. The point is, I want you to get is that we're going to load that data into the database. Very simple as it can be. Then afterwards, we automate the entire process. Don't get bogged down with heavy details. Just make it simple. Extract, transform, and load. Simple. We all are engineering today. Simple. And these are the kind of real-life case scenarios we expose you to during the course of your training with us as 10 Analytics. will make you get used to solving real life problems, such that when you are thrown there as a data expert, you can work in any capacity, any form. Okay, so this is a sample of how the laptop page looks like, exactly as it is. And I've made life super easy for all of us so that we can code along together by leaving the link here. So when you click on this link, it takes you to the place. So that is it. So are we excited? Are we ready to get started? Let me massage my hand. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. I start by clicking on the link and the website opens. So this is the website and you're seeing the laptops. Wow, a lot of laptops. How many pages are we going to scrape? Let's go to the very end to see how many pages are there. So if you look at it closely, you see that we have what? Over 50 pages. Imagine if you had to do this thing one by one. You probably would spend days doing this. And you see that this simple thing that one would have spent days doing, you do it in less than an hour. Interesting, isn't it? And I'm going to walk you guys through every step of the way. I'm going to try as much as possible to make it not too heavy, very simple. When you join the program, and we'll talk about it in more in-depth detail. But for now, we're just going to do it very simple. And you guys work with me as we go every step of the way. So let's start. Now, the very first thing I will do is I'll create a folder on my computer, on my desktop. So let's call it Joke Stores. Awesome. So I've created a folder. I open up the folder. The folder is opened. Empty, isn't it? Now I'm going to walk inside this folder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to need to open this folder in VS Code. There are different ways to go about it. I already have VS Code installed on my computer, so I can easily just right click here, open here, and open the file with VS Code, this icon here. That's one way. Another way is the way that we all know how to open anything. First things first, Google search for VS Code in your computer. Open VS Code. It's not a problem to open up. And this is VS Code. Open. So let me zoom in because not everybody is using glasses like me. Well, a few of us use glasses like me, so we cannot see from afar. But we can all see it now, right? Awesome. So what do I do next? I need to open that folder. So I come here, open a folder. I go to the folder. The folder is where it's on my desktop. And what is the name of the folder? Joke Stores. So I click on the folder and I open. So either option, it opens Joke Stores. So I say yes. And this is VS Code. This is the environment where we code Python. And VS Code is interesting because it allows you code not just in Python, but any other language, whether you're a software developer, cybersecurity expert, network engineer, anybody, so far you use code, you can actually code anything in VS Code. It's that interesting. But for us as data engineers, we use VS Code a lot. So I'll create the file that I want to work on. So I call it my ETL pipeline dot IPYNB. Now, IPYNB means IPython notebook. An IPython notebook. That's what IPYNB means. And it's the notebook that we are going to be using to code Python. Now, we need to select the engine, the Python engine that is going to run this notebook. So how do I select it? I come to my kernel here, click my Python environment, and pick any of my Python that I use. So I'm just going to pick this AliExpress virtual Python I've used in the past. Also, so now remember I told all of us that at the very beginning that to code in Python, to do this particular work, we're going to need series of packages. So those packages, I called them, I said one of them was what? Requests, right? Another one was what? Beautiful soup. beautiful soup. Another one was what? Um, pandas. Pandas. Let me check if there was yet another one that we did not mention. An SQL alchemy. So SQL alchemy. SQL alchemy. So these are all the packages that we are working with. Now, many times it's always good to not make an assumption that you have your computer comes with all these packages, because in reality, the computer may or may not come with all these packages. So what's the first step we need to do? We need to install all these packages to make sure that they are installed in our environment, in our notebook environment, such that we can code them. Very simple thing. And if I want to install it, how do you do it? Very simple. I just say pip install. Then I run. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Most of the time, I think I already have these packages installed on this particular Python environment. So I most likely will get already requirements already satisfied, already satisfied, already satisfied. But if I did not have them installed, you'll see it actually downloading the packages inside the environment. Okay, so okay, it's saying an error for this beautiful soup. So it's not called beautiful soup, but the package itself, yeah, the name of the package is beautiful soup, but when installing it, you use the code beautiful soup 4. So I got that and run that now. That should run perfect. That should run perfect. Okay, so said could not find matching SQL alchemy. I do believe I already have SQL alchemy available there. That's why it's showing this little message here, because I already have it installed. But if I did not have it installed, it definitely would download it. So once we've installed our thing, the next thing we'll now do is import the packages. Now, why do we import these packages? Remember that we have downloaded them, but in order to use them, we have to bring them into the environment, into our notebook environment. And that's what we do with import. So import is more or less those packages we downloaded, we're now attaching it to the notebook such that we can use them in our code. So I'm going to import, first of all, pandas as PD. I use an alias. If I did not use this alias, it means that every time I want to use pandas in my notebook, I have to type pandas, 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 which is quite stressful. So rather than do that, I just type use PD instead. That's the whole point of using an alias. Then I can import beautiful soup. But if I want to import beautiful soup, I have to import it from this beautiful soup 4. Now it's funny because the guys that designed beautiful soup, they told us to install it, we have to use beautiful soup 4. But when we want to import it, this is how they say we should do it. They say we should do it like this. From BS4, import beautiful soup. Now the B is with capital letter. Beautiful soup, like this. That was how they told us to do it. And since we're not the one that designed it, that is how we'll do it as well. Now, requests, it's quite easy. We can just import what? Request. And finally, SQL alchemy. So for SQL alchemy, we don't need to import the entire package. We only need one thing in SQL alchemy, which is what we're going to do. So we'll say from SQL alchemy, we're going to import what? Create underscore engine. So these are all the things that we need. So we're running that code now. Okay, so it has run. We're going step by step, isn't it? So that has run. Now that that has run, what is the next step? Now, before you go to scraping anything from the internet, you have to do what we call check the response. Have you ever wondered why when you try to browse for a website that does not exist, maybe you put a wrong website, you get an error. You should get an error message, maybe error 404. error this, error that. And you always wonder, what do those errors all mean? This is because websites are actually databases. And anytime you send a message, if the connection is correct, you'll get a right response. If the connection is positive, it opens the page you want to see. But if the connection is not successful, you'll get an error message, depending on the kind of error that is occurring at the same time. Now, just to let you guys know, when you search, for example, HTML response message, you see different messages. So when you interact with websites, any kind of error, it actually means something. So see, for example, that error 404, not found. That means the URL that you put does not exist. Error 403, forbidden. Some of you get this error 402 when you're trying to pay for something and it doesn't go, maybe unauthorized payment or something. While some of you get error 401 when you're trying to access a website that you don't have access credentials to. Yeah, all of these things mean something. For us, the most important thing is when trying to scrape something from the website, we want to get this response 200, which means successful. And that is what we test. We have to test for that response to show us that, even this Jumia website that we want to scrape from, that we are successful in it. So to do that, to test for response, so that's the first thing, test for response. We want to get a positive response, a response 200. That shows us that we can actually scrape from the website. If you don't get a response 200, you get a 400 or something, 500 or something, it means there's an error somewhere. You cannot probably scrape from it. So we're going to copy that URL. So we'll come back to our Jumia website to copy that URL. So we'll come here, we'll just copy. This is for page 50. So meaning that if we change this to page 1, it should take us to page 1. Awesome. So it did take us to page 1. That's really what happens in websites. It's just a fluctuation of the numbers. So we can copy this, go back to here and paste it. So basically, we're giving that whole link to the name URL. So R equals to, so simple, this is the code I'll write to check that response. So when I do this, I will then now what? Print R. So you see that request function package I imported in the beginning. Now I'm using it here. So when I run this now, let's see what we'll get. If everything is good, we are good to go to scrape from this website. We are supposed to get what? A response 200. If we don't get a response 200, it means we cannot scrape from this website. So what do we see? Response 200. What does that mean? We are good to go. We are good to go. Now we know that we are good to go. What can we do? You see that one very funny thing about coding. If you come here and you press inspect, many people did not know this, but this will reveal to you the HTML code for this page. You come to realize that everything on this page is actually coded for. For example, see the code for this particular image. Are you seeing the code? This is the link that leads to that image. See, for this icon, are you seeing the link here? Every single section, you see that as I'm moving my hand through, every single section is highlighted. And that's pretty much how it is. So it so happens, I'm very funny that when we've been able to use requests to test the response, that request can now give us access to that page as though we're browsing from that page from our listing. So how do I mean? If I want to see that same information, all I just need to do is to say print in bracket r.txt. Run this. You see that it shows me all that same information. Look at, let's look from the beginning. Doc type HTML, this. Let's come back here and compare. You see, it's exactly the same thing. Doc type HTML, this, the header and the footer, exactly the same thing. So it means that we're good to go. We're on the right page. We're on the right page. Now, how do we now script? Because that's the most important thing. We want to script the information. So to script the information, I'm just going to just copy these aspects first, because there's no need to rewrite that. Since we know that the response works, we can now script. Then the next thing I will now do is this. So I'll use that beautiful soup function, r.txt lxml. Now, what I want to do is scrape those information from that page. Now, the first thing I want to scrape is what? The product name. Product name. That's the first thing I want to scrape, the product name information. Now, how do I scrape those product name information? Now, we'll teach you this if you when you join this section, this training as a data engineer, we'll teach you the act of web scraping. That is what we're doing, web scraping. Now, but it surprises you to know that when scraping data from the internet, you need two information. We call them tags and attributes. Tags and attributes. All websites have tags and attributes. Let me show you an example of that. So take a look at this thing. You see this head that is like this, that has an opening and a closing. The closing always has like a forward slash before it. That is an example of a tag. Now, if you go through a website, at different points in time, there are tags. Look at this now. This script is a tag. This div is a tag. Let's show you other tags. If you open, you see footer is a tag. You're seeing the opening and you're seeing the closing. Main is a tag. You're seeing the opening, you're seeing the closing. Article is a tag. Now, every single item in the website has its own tag and attribute. Now, the logic that we are applying is that, think about it logically. There are how many products? I've played with this before in the past with students. So I know from example that there are 40 products on this page. If we count them, we'll see for ourselves 40 products. Now, knowing that there are 40 products, it will be crazy for the designer to use different tags and attributes to code for each product. It wouldn't make sense. So what do? To make life easy for the programmer, what they do is that they would use, they'll basically repeat, they'll just section it, but they'll basically repeat the same tag and attribute for all the different aspects, for the different products. The same in the sense that the thing that is coding for the product image, the tag and attribute coding for product image is the same, product name the same, price the same, store name the same, all of those things the same. Where is the difference? The element inside that tag. For example, the element inside this product title is what? Lenovo Latitude E7450 refurbished. That's the element inside there. The element for this next product is what? HTTP stream 11 laptop itel Celeron this that. The element for this particular product name is what? HP ProBook 11 X360. You see that? So the tags and attributes are the same, but what's the difference? The elements. So being that we understand that the tags and attributes are the same, our logic to scraping this data is to scrape all the products that have that tag, all the items that have that same tags and attributes. That is our idea. So we're going to use that idea to extract all the product name on this page, because we know that all the products have the same tags and attributes. Now, let me show you an example, because I know I've said it now. It's not really looking like it makes lots of sense, but let's check it out. Let's check out the tag for this title, Lenovo. Check it out. Now, what do you see? The tag is what? H3. H3. That's the tag. Meanwhile, the attribute is this class name. Class name. That's the attribute within it. Now, that is for Lenovo. Let's check this, the one for what? this HP string. Let's see if we'll see exactly the same thing. What do you see? Tag history, attribute name. Check the same thing for another product. What do we see? Tag history, attribute class name. Let's check another one. Once more, another one. Same thing. So what does this mean? Different products would, with their different name, would have the same tag and attribute. So what does this mean? If we can get the tag and attribute for products in the same category, we can get all the product name within that page. It's a very simple thing. When you come more, we'll get to explain it step by step. But I just don't want you guys to be lost in the code so that you can understand what I'm trying to do. So take a look at it. Take a look at it. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'll say what? Products, I'll say name equals to soup dot find all. Find underscore all. Now, what am I finding? All the tags that have H3. What about the attributes? Class underscore what? Name. So all the products that have the name and the tag history and the class and the attribute class name. So now when it finds everything, I want everything to be put inside a list. So I'm going to call that list product name. The list is empty, it's an empty list. Then I will say for, let's call these names. For name in names, what do? Put them inside product name. So product name dot append. Don't worry if it's a bit confusing. Just understand what I'm trying to do. So when I run this, it will take a while. Python will quickly run through that entire page and put everything. It has done it now. Now, all I just need to now do is to show you guys the product name. So take a look at this. Product name. When I run it, what do you all see? All the product name on. Oh, sorry. You all can hear me now, can't you? Apologies for that. So I'm just going to repeat myself. So now we're going to do for current price. Now for current price, it's the same logic. We're not going to change anything. Exactly the same logic. And what is the logic here? We're just going to try to find the tag and attribute for price. So like I did before, I said this. We put it here. We'll see that the tag is what div, the attribute is class PRC. Let's check that with another price. Exactly the same thing. Div is the tag, class PRC is the attribute. Let's check that for another one. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So this is the information we need. So what do we do? Exactly similar to what we did before. So this one I'm going to call it new price. New price equals to what? New price is equals to what? Soup dot find underscore all in brackets. What? The tag was what? Div, comma, class equals to what? PRC. So the current price, I'm going to create a list just like I did in it. And once I find all, I'm going to now put all that thing that it found inside. So for price in new prices, for each price in new prices, I'm going to attach those prices into my empty list. So current price dot append in brackets price. When I do that, I'm going to print it off for you all to see. Current underscore price. And you all can see it. However, I'm not interested in everything. I only want this text inside it. So I'm going to add the dots with txt text. Run that again. See that it brought out only the price. Only the price. Yeah. VS Code have libraries like Jupyter Notebook. However, Jupyter Notebook comes with pre-installed libraries. VS Code is just plain an empty IDE. So anything you need, you install, just like how I installed in the beginning. I saw someone ask that question. Okay. So, but we'll tell you more about it when you join the program. So let's quickly do that for old price. Similar thing, we go there to check the tag and attributes. So old price, you see example here. Let's put it on old price. You see that div is the class, that attribute is class old. So that's it there. If we check for the others, I'm guessing we're going to get the same thing. Let's look for another one that has old price. Exactly the same thing. So yeah, that is what we are going to put there. So I go back to our code and simply say old prices equals to soup dot find underscore all in brackets div comma class underscore what equals to old. In formal price, create an empty list similar to the rest. Last one, formal price. Then I say for price in old underscore prices, formal underscore price, my empty list dot append in bracket what price dot txt. Then now I can print what formal price so that you all can see my formal price. Very simple. Are you seeing all the old formal prices? Interesting, isn't it? Now, the last thing that I want to just extract from here, just to make life easy for us, is the percentage. The percentage is the discounts. So you can see how much was deducted, was percentage deducted to get this information here. So that's what I'm going to get. And as you can see, the tag is what div, the attribute is this. So I am just going to quickly extract that. So this is for what? Discount. So for discount, I'll say discount equals to soup dot find underscore all in brackets div comma class underscore equals to equals to. So I'm going to go back here to copy this because it's not like the rest. So I just copy that. I come back here and I paste that here. So I have the class and the attributes now. So I'll say I'll now create an empty list called discount percentage equals to empty list. Then for discount, let me call it dix and discount. What do you now do? My discount percentage, I attach it to my discount percentage. So discount percentage dot append in brackets dix. And finally, I can then now say discount underscore percentage, and you see all my discount percentage. Oh, one last thing. I'm only interested in the text information. So I specify that. And now extract only the things I want. Only the things I want. Only the things I want. So now we have extracted all the information we want individually. You see that they are existing as separate lists. The next step is to put everything inside one table. Inside a table. Now, how do you put everything inside a table? Very easy. So this is the step I'm going to take to put it inside a table. And when I'm done putting it inside a table, I will show you. Now, my table needs to have a column name. So I'm going to give it a name. So the first one will be called name. And what will be inside name? My product name. Then the next table, the next column will be what? Current price. Current price. And what will be there? My list called current price. The one I created above. Then the next table is going to be what? Formal price. That's what going to be the name of the column. Formal price. Let me use this a small letter since I use current price a small letter. And what is going to be there? My formal price. Then we'll have what? Discounts. Which will have what? Discounts. Yes. So that's all the information. Now my table name is going to be called laptop DF. So remember the package called pandas in the beginning that I told you we need. Now what pandas is used for doing, pandas is used to manipulate tables. It's the package in Python we use to manipulate and play with tables. Whether you want to clean a table, draw something on the table, you use pandas. So it's pandas we're going to use to convert everything into a table. So using this command, that's from dictionary in brackets data comma orange. So don't let the code bug you. When you join the program, it's going to be very easy to understand. Just know that the aim here is to create my table. So which I then now do. Laptop was called df dot what? Transpose brackets. Now, when I run this, this would create my table. Now, how do I show you guys my table? Take a look at my table. Voila. What do you guys think? Are we all not surprised how we started from here and arrived at what? Here. Okay. This is how you work as a data engineer. So you've done this now, you've shown your boss is excited. But there's a problem now. You only did this for the first page. You have 50 more pages. Or rather, yeah, 50 pages. You have what 49 more pages. Now the question is, will you start repeating this entire process page by page by page by page? Not really. That is the beauty about Python. There's always an automated way to do something. There's an automated way to, since you've solved it, there's always an automated. So I use logic, a simple logic. And what is the logic? Which is what I'll teach you people now. So remember that at the very beginning, the code we used, we specified that the page here was 1. So the logic I'm going to do now, what if I create a loop that every time the loop runs, the number there will change from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and it will until it reaches 50. And once it does that, it scrapes all the data and puts it inside the table. You see the simple logic I thought of? That is literally what I am going to do. Yeah. Very interesting. That's another beauty about programming, that when you can think about a problem, a solution, you can actually implement it. So first things first, I'm going to need to put my numbers, my numbers from number 1 to 50 inside somewhere. So I'll create a variable called pages, and I'll say x for x in range 1 to 51. Now, why did I use 51 instead of 50? Because Python is weird in terms of numbering. If I'm putting a range between anything, I have to put the number after where I want it to stop. Why? Because Python will count from 1 to the number before that last number. So if I say 1 to 51, it pretty much counts from 1 to 50. Why it does this, I honestly do not know. But that is how Python works. Very strange thing. So first of all, I create my pages. Then remember that at the end of the day, at each point I was coding and extracting, I was creating an empty list. So this empty list, I'm going to bring it out of my loop, showing that, okay, that loop is empty. Go through everything first, then attach. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So after I've created my pages numbers, I'm going to bring out all the empty lists. So page number first, empty. Then what next? Current price, empty. Then what next? Former price, empty. And finally what? Discount peg, empty. Then the next step, go to my extraction. Now I'm not going to do anything different from what we have already done. We've already written all the code. All we're just going to do is just to manipulate it, to go through everything. And how do I need to manipulate it? I have to write it in such a way that it will keep changing each number. And there's a simple trick to do that. So I will say for pages number in what? Pages. So for each number in pages, what am I going to do? So I'll repeat that my URL code again, but there's a trick we use in Python called string character formatting, string formatting. We're going to now format it in such a way that it will be rotating each number. So remember this code, this URL I put here. So I'm just going to copy it. This one. Just going to copy it. Come back here. Paste it there. But this time around, I'm going to alter it using that methodology I talked about. So instead of calling it 1, I'm going to put a curly bracket there and call it what? Page node. By so doing, I have put this inside a loop, such that I say that as the loop is going through from 1 to 50, that number there will be changing from 1 to 50. But every time it changes, it will scrape everything on that page before it changes again. That is the idea of everything here. And that's the trick. Now, the next thing We're just going to now put the other parts of our code. And like I said, we don't need to type anything. All we just need to do is what? Copy and paste. We just come here, copy this, and do what? Paste it here. Then the next part was what? The soup part aspect where we script. So let's come to the first aspect that we script. That was what? This one. So I'm going to copy this part, but delete this aspect because you know I've already put it out of the loop. So said I'm deleting this aspect. So that's what I'm going to do. So we've done for products. Let's go and do for current price. So we've done for product name. I'll do for current price. So I copy current price, scroll to the end. Okay, then the next one is what? Old prices. So I'm going to go to old prices, copy, and do what? Paste it there. And finally, I'm going to do for what? Discount price. So just going to copy discount price, which is this. Copy and paste it here. Awesome. So once I'm done with that, the next thing is now to create my table, which already I have the code here. Let's copy this and I paste it here. And when we have this, now this code will take a little bit more time to run compared to the last one. Now, why did I say this? Remember I told you this one had just how many tables? It had 40 values, as you can see. You see that Python starts numbering from 0. So from 0 to what? 39, just 40 pages. But then 40 products. But when I run this one finish, you see that it will have all the product for all the pages. So what do? We run. It's gonna take a bit, a few minutes. While that is doing, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to type the code to show you. Oh, sec there. Okay, we called this one pages number. We called here page number. That was where the error came from. So we'll run that again. That should run now perfectly. Beautiful. That is running perfectly. Okay, so when it runs, we are going to count to see the number of tables it has. It's going to take a while because a bit, not a while, but just a bit of time, because it's going to, this thing is literally running through all 50 pages right now. So it takes maybe a minute or so to run. But once it does, you'll see the difference between what we had before and what we have now. So just wait for it. So while that is doing, let's now write the final part of our code, which is loading this into a database. Loading this into a database. Now, the database in question we're going to use is our pgadmin. This is how it looks like. This is the database that we're using. Now, I'm going to use the one on my local computer called my local host. Now, notice that I don't have Docker stores, so I'm just going to create a database for Docker stores. Create a database for what? Docker stores. So create a database for Docker stores, and this database, you see that it's empty. I just created it here. You see it's very empty. There's nothing there. There's no table, nothing. So this is this place I'm going to do next. Load the data that I get from here into the table. So loading into PostgreSQL database. Very easy code to do, very easy code. So the first things first, I'm going to need to set my parameters. Which I'll do pretty easy. So all databases have what? They'll have a username, which I will set. Postgres. That's the username for mine, comma. They will have what? A password. In this case, we set ours to simple use. Password is called password. Funny, right? Then hosts, very simple. And my host is called what? Local host, because this is hosted on my local machine. Then we have what? Ports. And my port is what? Port 5432. Then finally, I have what? Database. And my database is what? Postgres. So, no, we changed the database. Just remember that we changed it. We created our own database called what? Joker stores. So that's what we're going to use instead. Joker stores. That's what we're going to use. Now, after creating the database, you see that this is still running 3 minutes. It's still going through 50 pages. So, but don't worry, it will run, it will take it. So we don't have anything to worry about. So the next thing that I do, oh, I think it has even done already. Also, it has done. And let's check. Are you saying 2,000 products? Why? Because 40 on a page, 40 times 50 pages is what? 2,000 products. If you try and view it, laptop _df, if you try and view it, it won't show you the entire 2,000, but it will show you a good number. So you see that it showed us the first 5 and the last 5. Awesome. Now, not all products had formal prices. And of course, if they don't have formal prices, they definitely will not have discount. So that's why you're saying no. So we're good to go. So after setting the database parameters, the next thing you're going to now do is what? Define the database URL. So database URL, very easy, equals to what? So just going to type it real quick. I have it written here, so because it's a bit lengthy, so I'm just going to show you guys. So this is the code. It's a bit lengthy, but I have it written here out here. So this is the URL, and this URL pretty much what we are saying is that what is here, you replace here with what? The username. Replace here with what? The password. Replace here with what? The host, then followed by what? The port and the database. But we wrote it in such a way that if we change the parameter here, we don't need to come back and change here. That is why we wrote it in this way. But that's very easy. So the first things first, set your database parameter. After setting your database parameter, you set your database URL using the information from this parameter. Now that you do that, what's the next thing? You create your engine. Now remember at the beginning that from SQL Alchemy, we imported a package called what? Create engine. That is the package that we are now going to use at the end here to create the engine to connect to the database. So we're going to use that create underscore engine function to connect to our database URL. So after we've created that engine, we can then now use that engine to load our data into the table. So how do we do that? We say with engine dot connect as what? Connection. We use that to create a connection. Then what do we do? Laptop underscore df dot to underscore SQL in brackets. Now, what do we want to call this table? We want to call this table Jumia laptops. Let's call it laptop products. That's the name of the table. The connection will be connection, just like how we said. Then index will be to false. And finally, if the table already exists, which it doesn't exist, but say because remember, we want to automate this to be running every day. So if the table already exists, what do? We replace. Then after, if everything has worked, this code has worked, we should receive a congratulatory message because we will not know unless we go and check our database. So, but to let us know that it has worked here, let us receive a congratulatory message telling us database table and data loaded successfully. So that is what we get. That's how we know. So let's run this code now. Now, if we get database table data loaded successfully, just like how we did here, we know that our data has been loaded into the table database. Now, let's go and check to confirm. See, there's nothing here yet. Let us refresh. Now, upon refreshing, let's check again. What do we see? Our database is there. Now we have our data. Now, if you query this data just like how you would do it, Joke now wakes up to tomorrow, they want to carry out analysis. For example, let's see all the products on there. They can do it. So how do we say? They'll say select all from what? Jumia laptop products. Jumia laptop products. Limit to 10. So if they run this, what do we see? All the products. We limited it to 10 so that we can see the top 10. If we want to limit it to 100, run the same thing. What do you see? Top 100 products. This is how you build an end-to-end project from start to finish in data engineering, data space. And these are the kind of things you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis while working as an intern, internal analytics, working in the class while learning your projects. Projects like this. Now, we've achieved everything. We've done everything we need to do. The next question we need to ask, how do we automate it in an ETL pipeline? Very easy. I'm not doing anything new. All I'll just do is now to come here and call this etl.py, a Python script. Now, the difference between a script and a notebook, this is a notebook. I use it for testing. Notice that it has where to code and it shows me the output. A script is just like a plain piece of paper. The whole point of the script is to automate things. So when I want to put this code into a pipeline, I use a script instead of a notebook. So the point of creating this script is so that I can be able to use it to automate my files. Now, what do I need to do? I start from the beginning. What is the beginning? First things first, I do what? Import my code. Because that was the first thing I needed to do. Import all the codes. After importing the code, what was the next thing? I'm not going to do the one by one because I already automated everything here. So what do? I come here, copy, and what? Paste. So that's everything. Then finally, what do I now need to do? I need to load it into my database. So I come here, I copy, and do what? Paste. Now I save, I can close this. If I look at this again, you see my script. So this is the script that we're going to run to automate our code. Now, just to make sure, to show you guys how we automate it, I'm going to delete this table. So let's delete this table from here. Now, if we automate everything and everything works fine, we should be able to get this table again. So I don't need to save. Let's just close everything. Okay. So you see that there's nothing here. If I refresh again, no table at all. Table has been deleted. Now, what are we going to do? Very simple. How do I automate? Let's go to Anaconda prompt. Or you can open your command line prompt anyone you want. So this is this black window space within your computer. Now, within this space, I want to navigate to where I want to navigate to, I'm currently in this print folder, but I want to come to this folder here where Joker stores is. So to get that folder, I need to copy the path. When I copy the path, I come here and say what? CD, change directory. I paste that there. When I run that, notice that it has changed. I'm no longer in print, I'm now in print desktop Joker stores. Now, if I say pwd, or rather DRI, it shows me all the files inside our folder. And this is the one I want to run, this Python script. So what do? I say Python, then etl dot what? Py. And I run. Now, if this script runs in an automated fashion, what will we get? We'll just see database, table, and data loaded successfully. This might take a couple of minutes because remember, it has to scrape all the data from 50 pages, which took, when we ran it the last time, it took how many minutes? It took us 3 minutes. So this is pretty much how this is automated. And all we just need to do is just do a little tweaking, and the computer will be running this script on its own on a daily basis. Guys, at this junction, we are done. We've built a system that automates the running of a Python script every day, updating Joker's database. Do you guys have questions for me? What do you guys think about all of this? Are we excited to have followed this journey from the beginning to the end? If we're excited, give me a thumbs up, give me a hey, hi, express yourself. Just tell me what you think on the chat group. So this is running. We'll come back to this, but let us continue with our masterclass. Let's continue while we come back to this. Just check in 3 minutes time, and you guys will see that it has run beautifully. So it's still running. Let's just leave it alone to run. Okay. Faustina is saying, I do not understand what is going on yet. Faustina, did you join us at the beginning? I don't think you joined us at the beginning. So this masterclass is pretty much showing us guys a day-to-day walkthrough through a case study and a project in Analytics. So we showed you the kind of project you will see in the class or in the internship scenario. And this will give you, we should give you an example of a project from a data engineering perspective, a data engineering project. Awesome. I guess that's the reason why. So basically, we showed everyone here how, as a data engineer, you will be tasked with extracting data from a website, from Jumia's website, putting that data in a table and loading that data into a database. Don't worry, the class has been recorded and the recording will be made available on YouTube. But we showed everybody step by step how to do it. And I'm guessing it was interesting to everyone. Guys, did you guys find it interesting? If you found it interesting, give me a thumbs up. If there are questions, feel free to ask. But let's just wrap up with the presentation. Now, as you all know, as you all will come to know pretty soon, let's see, I guess this is still running. Oh, let's see. There was an issue somewhere in the running. So what did it say? It said, oh, there was an issue somewhere. Not to worry. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the same environment that I used to run the code. That is the same environment that we used to run the code, which is what's the AliExpress Python environment. So that is what I just activated here. So I'm going to run the notebook again. So So let me look at our notebook again to see any possible place where there could be an error. So if I see it, then we'll be able to solve it early enough. Okay, the only possible place where there could be an error is here because of how we positioned it. So very easy. I'll just do that here. Then add it backward slash, backward slash, backward slash, backward slash. Or better still, leave them connected together. Okay. Okay. So they're connected together. So let me run that again. This time around, we should be good to go. Okay, so while that is running, we'll continue with the class and you guys will get to see the thing run because this will take a couple of minutes to run. I think about 4 minutes to run. So we'll just wait to see the response here. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, guys. Now looking through, different parts open up in 10 analytics program. And one of the aspects that I would focus on largely because of my specialty in the area will be data engineering. Now, if you're interested in data engineering, just as we see, you come to see that data engineers are quite important to any organization. Why is because without data engineers, you don't have access to the data. You notice that in the question that we even just answered, they needed access to data to be able to carry out certain kinds of analysis. Hence why they called on the data engineer. So the data, before you come to the analyst who will tell stories about the data to, like for example, now that the data is now present in the database, the analyst will pick up that data and use it to build insights, interactive analytics dashboard to make meaning and tell stories from the data. The data scientist will pick up that data and say, oh, can we use this data to predict the likelihood of customers purchasing X product over Y product or X brand over Y laptop brand? So they build models for making predictions and making forecasts. That is what a data scientist does, as against a data analyst. And a data engineer, we are the one that design the entire infrastructure, as you all have seen. So what data is needed for an organization? How do we go about getting that data? These are the questions a data engineer answers, and they are strategic to this purpose. Further things you might need to understand about data engineers that they're quite important to be able to drive business decisions for an organization. They understand the requirements of the data consumer and are useful in crafting out solutions that feed the different data consumers. So these are some of the questions that are answered by a data engineer in crafting the solution. And it's not just going to go and start designing any kind of infrastructure. Important questions you must ask yourself: what is the cost of this infrastructure? And what is the return on investment from this process? So these are, now some of you may ask me, what are the different, yeah, there are no data engineering in school. We know that data engineering is cool, but what are the different career paths that open up for a data engineer? As this is asking, Afiz is asking, what can I also generate the number of sales? If that data was present on that website, sure, why not? You can actually get the information of sales. What we script was information solely present on that front end website. Also, so data engineering, think of data engineering like medicine, whereby when you finish as a data engineer, you can work as a general practitioner, medical doctor, or you could choose to work as a oncologist, cardiologist, a hematologist, a urologist. You can work in pediatrics. different aspects, ENT, different aspects of medicine, similar to data engineering. As data engineer, it's broad, but you can now have different areas of specialty that opens up to you. You can have specialty in the area of cloud data engineering, database administrator, data architect, Python developer or engineer, DevOps engineer, analytical engineer. You look at analytical engineer as the bridge between the data engineer and the data analyst. It's not exactly the middle ground, but more or less a bridge between both. But you can then now build infrastructures that automates the process of analysis. They have solutions architects, and all these are available in that magic genie box called data engineering. So, but like I said before, this just paints some pictures because come on, I'm a data engineer now. I would love you guys to be interested in the program. But then again, besides that, every other aspect, data analyst, the Scrum, the BR, and the business analyst, the HR analyst, all opens up in the field of analytics. So why should you train with us? Number one, we have shown by history, by achievements, by records, we've shown how we've been able to transcend and help people get into this tech field. We've helped over 2,000 plus, we've trained over 2,000 plus persons across different parts of the world. The UK, the US, Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia. We have that track record that speaks for itself. Now, the industry standard facilitators and curriculum. We don't just come to class to come teach you guys from notebook. Many of the solutions, many of the guys you come to meet, many of the people that train in class are all industry experts that have wealth of experience, not just the knowledge, to guide you guys through what is happening on the day-to-day basis in the industry. We have a blended training that accommodates every type of learning. That is, whether you're a slow learner, whether you're a fast learner, the program is designed in such a way to meet you at your need. Each class, live section class are recorded and made available for you to rewatch at your convenience. Besides that, we've also done what we call watch me do it videos that are self-paced. You can rewind it, fast forward it, do whatever you want with it. That guides you every step of the way. So for example, you missed the live class, you can always rewatch it. There are always help watch me do it videos to guide you to move at your pace every step of the way. And finally, we have tailored sections that focus on positioning you to land your training job. Our training is very balanced because it's not just focused on the technical aspect of things, but also on the professional side of things. We're interested in your full-fledged training as a professional. So we'll focus on training on the professional side of things that optimizing your LinkedIn, optimizing your CV, preparing for interview. We get to show you all of these things as we move forward. So as an overview, if you are coming to data engineering or any other aspect of tech analytics, these are the things that are available for you. You have 100% online learning. So the training is 100%. These are the features of it, and it's instructional led. Now, there are hands-on practicals, just like the one we've just done in class today, sections with videos and projects for you to work on. And you have lifetime access to your materials. Lifetime access to your materials and also your experts, your trainers. You can always reach out to us. We always have a section with us to talk about anything really. Now we have 20, you have up to 20 plus classes, different topics. Some of you may ask the average rating of the data engineer. I just thought to put that there so that at least you can understand. You work on, you get to, by the end of the project of the training, you can be very sure that you will get to work on at least 10 plus projects that you can add to your portfolio. And Ten Analytics is also beautiful because we also provide that work experience backing for you. So you can all add Ten Analytics as your first place of working, and we'll write references for you anywhere you go, wherever you need it. So 100% job prospect visibility, industry relevant certification provided for you. And like I said before, the training is pretty much 3 months of training plus 2 months of virtual internship. Now, if you came as a data engineer, what would your journey be like? What will your journey be like? Of course, to start like this. Intro into data engineering, that's what we'll start from. Then you learn about Python and SQL, which are very fundamental things like I've used in class today. Then you learn about batch commands, Linux, virtual control, Linux, and GitHub. You learn about data modeling and how to model data for database or data warehouse purposes. You learn about using pandas, the tool that we use today to manipulate the tables and put things into a tabular form. You learn about that too. You know about PySpark. Now, when data starts to go beyond hundreds of thousands, into millions, into billions, you can't be talking about using pandas to process such a data. We use a big data processing framework called Apache Spark. Then you learn about data extraction, transformation, cleaning. You learn about cloud computing as well. Now, in our training, we'll expose you to using Azure and GCP. We used to use AWS in the past, but due to recent challenges faced with AWS in terms of students struggling to register and all of that, we decided to now stick to it rather than just using AWS. We decided to expose the students to Azure and GCP, giving them a very balanced and diverse reach than even before. Then, of course, like I said, you get exposed to Azure and GCP. Then you get to learn about data pipeline and orchestration. And by the end of the program, please, you could call yourself to an extent master of data engineering, even though in reality, mastery will take a lifetime work. But then again, you're pretty sure that how you started from and where you are very, very different when you see the things that you are capable of at the end of the program. So, like I said before, all our programs come with free internship that helps you, and where we also and professional guidance that show you how to make your CV and also how to build your portfolio. So you get to build interesting portfolio website like this. Like for example, take a look at one portfolio website I built, and these are things that you also come to pick up. These are things you also come to pick up. Let me show you that portfolio website. So I'll just come here and show it to you guys. So it's called. Okay, apologies for that. So just sharing that again. The portfolio website did come up. So you can see a portfolio website like this where you get to showcase your portfolio for future job prospects. So people can see you, they can access your social media, view your LinkedIn and all the likes. So these are some projects that I have done. For example, one building this portfolio website, and this was the project I did that was also published, that was also showcased on YouTube. Different, you can show your different projects. So portfolio website like this. So coming back to the training. So sometimes it might feel impossible until it's actually done. And we're a big believer of doing the impossible right here at Analytics. So to that effect, seeing is believing, like they say. So here you see some students, some reviews of our students that have gone through our training and been able to land a job. This first person in particular, when I joined Analytics at the beginning, I was the one with founder sat in his interview prep to prep him for this interview, and he can share his story. So I'm just going to play this so that you guys can listen to him talk about his experience and how 10 Analytics have been helpful for him in guiding him to learning about this thing of data engineering, helping him land his first job, and guiding him through the interview process. So just I'm going to play this briefly. So kindly let me know if you all can hear this.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm going to be speaking about how analytics helps me to.
Can we all hear it? If you can hear it, give me a yes in chat. Okay, we all can hear it. Awesome. So I'm gonna play it right now so we all can listen.
Hi. Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm going to be speaking about how analytics helped me to secure my first tech role. So at the beginning of the year, I was looking at different places onto how to gain the skills that I needed in order to get into the industry that I wanted, which was data engineering. I, funny enough, came across Telalytics through Instagram, and I signed up to attend their first. Everything about how the classes will go, how they'll teach you, how they'll guide you in securing your first tech role. They spoke about the different sectors, whether it was business analytics, data engineering, which I got into, data analytics, and so forth. So at first, we joined a group, and that group went through different classes. We were assigned a mentor to teach us each of the aspects of data engineering, from Python to SQL to cloud computing and so forth. I love the lessons because they gave us a good foundational knowledge of how to code, of how to know about the industry, and it made us understand that coding, data engineering is not as difficult as people make it out to seem. So as we were going through the classes, we were given projects that we were able to make our own. And this gave us the skills and the confidence to go out there and start applying for jobs, which they encouraged. So once I started applying for jobs,
I think the network doesn't want us to to see this video to the end.
I
Okay.
got invited to an international company, and I spoke to my mentors at Analytics, and they guided me through the entire process, from speaking to the people at the company, the CEOs, to getting through the technical tasks. Not that they gave me all the answers, but they just guided me in the right way because I already obtained the skills through the classes and through the entire process. So happily enough, they helped me through the entire process, and I was able to be offered a role as a sales engineer at a software company. So what I'm going to be doing when I start the role is that when clients want to join and sign up to our software, I take their data and I integrate their data into our software using extract, load, and transform technique, which I learned from analytics. So essentially taking their raw data, transforming it to be readable for the system and loading it into the software. And I just want to say thank you to Analytics for the support, classes, through the mentorships, because I was able to give me the skills that I needed along this course of the year and secure my first role in the tech industry. And I am very, very confident that if you was to join, it's going to benefit you just as much as it benefited me. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Mike, and we have a whole lot of others. This was another person who joined with us, and he landed a senior analytic role in the company, and we even provided references for the roles. These are a whole host of others who have trained with us and have individually landed role. We have more than enough. And don't worry, the material will be made available for those who drop in their information for you guys to listen through, watch, and listen and hear experiences from people. So just as a subtle end, what's more, what separates you from the competition? We help you succeed in the job market through a three-layer approach. What is this approach? Level one, we focus on helping you. This is during the professional aspect of the training, where we focus on helping you navigate the job market, review your CV, teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn, talk to you about interviews and how to prepare for interviews, Upwork optimization, recommendation letter, reference letter. Then while in the training as well, we offer a weekly mentorship section where we bring not just alumni, but industry speakers prominent job recruiters to teach you guys on how to navigate the terrain of the professional scape as a data expert. Then on-the-job support in the sense that once you get trying to land your first job and you get called for an interview, you can reach out to us at any point in time to schedule a section where we can prep you on what you need, just like how you heard Michael say, and prep you on how to stand out in the interview to help you get that job. So I promise to you that guaranteed job interview at least a month after completing your training to us, as long as you're ready to put in the work for the application process. So all of this leads us to saying that next course for 10 analytics is beginning 8th of June 2024. 8th of June 2024. Now, this is our normal price for the training. However, for this month of June, we would be offering a training in the, we will be offering a discount percentage of 20%, 20% in this training of, and that will be made available for the first 20 persons that joins the program. The first 20 persons get that discount. The first 20 persons to indicate interest will be getting that discount, and that will be made available to you guys. I'll be made available to you guys. So, just give me a sec. So let's have some. So okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen right about now. Can you all see my screen also? Okay, so these are the discounts. And like I said before, we have that history and that backing to show, and everything is all out on the internet, on YouTube. This we've been around for quite some time. These are more testimonials for you to review. All on our YouTube page, more testimonials of people in different roles, not just data engineering now, so that people just Doc, you always talk about data engineering, all about the rest. We got other guys in other roles, business analyst roles, data analyst roles, data science roles. Many of our students are working in diverse companies, which we have actually taken time to highlight and showcase. And like we said, we've been here for a while. So you see the reviews. These are our two wonderful founders, Femena April and Adiza Suleiman. And at the different activities you've seen us showcase in the press. So that is it for the presentation. Now we'll leave room for questions, feedback, anything. So guys, the comment section is open right now, so feel free to start dropping in your questions, poking, any inquiries that you would like to know, feel free to communicate. So you all just raise up your hands or drop your question in the chat and we'll attend to them ASAP. And if there's questions on the section, feel free to communicate that. Now, look at our pipeline. Just to, because I know I said I was going to show it to you guys. Look at our pipeline. You can see our pipeline ran successful. Now, if we go back to our database and check our database, let's refresh again. What do you guys see? Data. Pretty much how that whole process is automated, of which when you check, say for the first 100 rows, you should see it load up. Awesome. So that's it for that, guys. Now, quickly, questions. Now, if they're not questions, like I actually want to hear from some of you, because I've been seeing some of the chats and some of you have been saying stuff. So I just want to hear what you guys thought about the section. So, in no particular order, Abiodun, Abiodun, what do you think about the section? I don't think Abiodun is here. Okay, Victor says I'm running up my MSc in computer science in the UK, and now I'm a little undecided on the path to follow, whether data science or data engineering. I need pointers, which is better for me and why. Um, so nice question, Victor, and it's really uh at this point in time, because looking at your background, I guess for you it's really going to be a matter of interest. Interest in the sense that data engineers and data scientists, though they are we're both in the data space, we focus on different domains, different specialty. And you have a background in mathematics. Looking at your background in mathematics, I would say maybe data science might be a better place for you in the sense that your background, if you leverage your background in mathematics, it might give you strength in deciding which algorithms to feed into which solution. Then again, data science serves as the foundation blocks for a future in AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, which, as you can see with the world progressing, especially with the recent launch of GPT 4.0, yeah, yeah, the world is opening up in that field. So I say, looking at your background, I feel like maybe data science might be a better pick for you to data engineering due to your background in mathematics and MSc in computer science. I feel like you make not saying you would not make a very awesome data engineer. I just feel like leveraging on the experience and background you already have, data science would open up loads of opportunities for you. That's my own personal take on that. And this pricing actually also applies to data science, not just data engineering and data analytics as well. So, but beautiful question, Victor, and whichever you do choose to come into, whether data engineering, data science, you're going to be good, do good. You're going to do good. Abiodun, I think you were going to say something before I decided to answer Victor's question. You can go ahead. I'm not hearing you. I don't know. I know you're muted yourself, bro. I'm able to hear you. Afiz, I think while we wait to hear from Abiodun. Abiodun, maybe you could type what you want to say on the chat. So while we wait to hear from Abiodun, what do you think about the whole section, Afiz, feedback? Would we be seeing you in the section?
Hi.
Hi, Afiz. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Actually, I really enjoyed the class because I've been wanting to learn more about data engineering. Yes, I do use Jupyter Notebook for machine learning and AI. So this class is just like a eye opening to me, and I really appreciate the time spent. The 2 hours is not a waste. So I'm looking forward to attend the class in the nearest future. So it's a good one. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would actually recommend that you're looking forward to attending the class that you also like make the decision of actually committing to the class in the sense of the payment, register, and all of that. Why this is important because I'm sure you've been following the sections with this for a bit. You notice that we give different discounts at different points in time, and the discounts are usually never static. Like I think 2 months ago, we ran a 50% discount, and this was because of the International Women's Day. Um, Founders of the good we thought about using this as an opportunity to appreciate women around the world. We decided to give a 50% discount on the training, which a lot of people capitalized on. And sadly, people who failed to, but the next time they were coming, The next discount was now, I think, a 30% discount, and this is the 20. I'm not saying the next one is going to be a 10, it might actually be a 40 or 50, but you never know. So these things are never like fixed. So I would recommend that you probably, if you are in the decision phase, you just take that leap of faith, register right away, and secure your space. You get your welcome kit and all of that, and settle in and prepare, so that you know that you'll be joining the section with everyone on June 8th.
Okay,
I know.
again, I want
Go
to
ahead.
ask, the next class, apart from this one coming very soon, the next class will be when?
I think after this, the next court will be in July. Next court
So
after
it
this.
so it will take how many weeks or months?
Uh, each court takes roughly 3 weeks of training, 2 weeks, or I mean 3 months of training. Yeah, 3 months of training, then about 2 months of internship.
And the reason why I'm asking this question is because of the time schedule now, because work and any other thing can affect the plan.
Now
So
we try to we uh, most of our students are actually working class individuals. So we schedule the sections in such a way to accommodate them, Now, for example, like I said before, we have students cutting across different regions of the world. So to accommodate everybody, we have our sections 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time, which for those in Canada, for say, this is already the early hours of the morning on Saturdays. We only have classes on Saturdays. Then, so this is like the early hours of the morning when they're already waking up and they're already bright awake. Those in the US, similar thing. Those of us in West Africa, UK, and US, this is where we're getting back from work and we're all chilled and all. Not saying that it's perfectly convenient for everyone, but it's easy for everyone to adjust to this time frame. It's like a middle ground for everyone. Then we also tend to like have um, we also tend to have drop-in sections with students where we check up on them on Wednesdays to see how they're doing, and you can get to answer questions and all of that. But not to worry. One thing I would recommend for everyone here, just if you are like unsure and still struggling with decisions, you should just put down your name and information. We tend to have what we call clarity sections on Tuesdays, where I will recommend you come to those sections with your wealth of questions. I'll be there, and if I'm not there, you see a whole host of others. You'll meet the founders. You might run into them. So join the clarity sections. You can get to ask more questions and really get yourself acquainted with everything you need. If whether you failed or not, if you have more questions to ask. But I'm here, and of course, I'm available to answer any questions that you have as regards to section. So far so good. How many of us here have already paid for the section and are just here chilling to hear more and learn more while you get acquainted? How many of us here have paid? If you paid, you can give me a thumbs up on the chat and all. Okay, there's some people that have not heard from anything from at all, and I would just like love to hear from them. Let me just call just a few. Okay, John Timothy, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, hello. I'm very well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So what do
Yeah,
you think?
I actually enjoyed the class. The
Okay,
little constraint that I think most of us, let me not speak for everybody, the little constraint that I think I may be having might be the Python. It seems to have a lot of codes and stuff in them. But then again, I know that, like you said, when someone registers, the person will put through like the rudiments of the basics that need to be known before one can really excel in that program. But then I intend to register for the July cohort. I already specified that in the form, the Google form I filled.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's fine. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So we look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, definitely.
And not to worry about it. Python, when you join the program, you'll see that Python is just like speaking English.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
flow with it with ease.
I believe so.
Okay, let me hear from someone else. Renee, how you doing, Renee? Uh, I hope I got that correctly. Renee from Dufe. How you doing? Okay, I guess Renee is probably not here, but maybe when she joins, she could always send up the chats, message in the chat box, and we could always reply. Let's look at David Okoli. David Okoli, how you doing? How did you find the section? Just David Okoli is also not here. Okay, so guys, just 5 minutes to go. But then again, it's been a fun section with you guys. I don't know. Before we go, are there any feedback, any questions, any queries, any confusion anywhere that someone may have? Um, uh, just feel free to mention it before I call it a day, and everyone could go rest. It's been a long one. Is there any? Okay, so I guess not. So awesome. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you everyone for joining tonight's section. It's been fun having you guys. I really enjoyed my time with you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys during the 10 analytics program. We can get to meet more. If you come to the data engineering to do all cool because you get to see me and see all my excellent facilitators, all my facilitators from different industries. We get to just with them and rub minds in the program. So I look forward to seeing you all and do have a wonderful fun time. Take good care of yourself, guys. Cheers.